one of the key gaps that I see is the knowledge about business and human rights, and therefore the framing around it. I think that's one of the key gaps where I see is where they keep thinking of their own beats and they don't sort of try to connect the dots. A journalist may be covering any beat, can still report on business and human rights story. Again, take sports for examples. Could be reporting on the issues of migrant workers and safety of the workers who built the stadium, the gender pay gap. Similarly, a health reporter could be reporting on vaccines issues from business and human rights perspective. So, the message is that the message really is that there are business and human rights stories in all kinds of beats that you're covering. You just need to find that right angle. And I think that's where and that doesn't happen because they don't really have the knowledge and understanding of the issue as such. I think the other key gap that I see is, some of the papers, and including, some international papers, they usually have a very business friendly lens, and I think operating somewhat in a silo. But things seems to be changing for papers. There are human rights stories out there. They're just not sort of mentioned as business and human rights story. And I think that's fine because, our audiences don't want to they don't want to read the legal frameworks in the newspapers. So I think as long as you can bring as long as you can bring people and community into your business and human rights reporting, I think that would really help. When you start reporting on business and human rights, the thing that you will understand is that human rights are not necessarily only a government or a political issue, but that businesses themselves have independent and complementary responsibilities. So, thus businesses can no longer claim that the bottom line or the profits are the only motive for companies in making decisions. And I think part of it is also our fault. Is that we haven't been there are still knowledge gaps in the region on business and human rights, but I think also this is the way the stories are pitched, right? The stories are not pitched in a business and human rights language, and therefore that's what media reports on. Nevertheless, I think there has been a lot of progress since then. You pick up any newspapers, you do see lots of stories that focus on business and human rights issues, except that they just don't use the language or the frameworks in that sense. I think, for journalists reporting or for anybody who's sort of working in this field, I think it's important to know the different conceptions of business responsibilities. I think business responsibility is kind of a more wider term. So if you look at responsible business, and business and human rights fits within the responsible business, but responsible business is broader. And CSR can be either interpreted in line with business and human rights when it integrates with the UN guiding principles on business and human rights. But in the business and human rights world, often we make a difference between BHR and CSR, emphasizing the philanthropic nature of the conception of CSR. Um, in other words, business and human rights is not just about companies doing good. It is not about corporate social responsibility or CSR. CSR is a voluntary action that a company chooses to take to be a good citizen, from charitable contributions to provision of services to local communities. But business and human rights is about when business is connected to harm, the harm it is causing, it is contributing to or linked to, and the harm it has to work to prevent and remedy it. So business and human rights or BHR is about doing no harm, and that is respect for human rights. And I think that's where the key difference is between business and human rights and CSR. If you pick up any business and human rights issues, then you would see that gender it has implications on women, it has implications on the LGBTI communities very differently. To begin with, pick up discrimination at the workplace on the basis of your sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression. Lack of women in workforce and the gender leadership gap. I think the businesses have also been thinking and sort of working around diversity and inclusion. If you look at it, it is actually a business and human rights issue. It's not. It is actually a human rights issue, right? It's not just a human resource issue. It is about equality. It is about not discriminating women from men or other or people with other identities. But also, if you look at the textile and garment supply chains, you do find lots of women in there. Again, differential impact on women when businesses acquire land and displace communities. Think about intersectionality. Think about how how women of color, how women of a different religion, how women of a different caste, how women of different class, the disability status, for example, their HIV status, for example, could impact and add layers of vulnerability, layers of vulnerability in how they are treated. So I think one of the mistakes that a lot of us do is that we tend to put women in this one in this one group. And think of women as a homogeneous group. They are not homogeneous. There is heterogeneity in terms of, there is a lot of heterogeneity in there. And I think when we sort of start thinking of gender or even reporting on gender, that's what we need to keep in mind. Just last thing, also over and above this structural system, the gender norms that disparage women's leadership in the Gen Z, along with their disproportionate, I think, unpaid care responsibilities in the not just in the country but also worldwide. All of this undermine women's voice, their time, their freedom.
This interview is a part of the Business and Human Rights module made in collaboration with Oxfam India and Newsworthy. You can find more resources, interviews, and step by step guides on reading financial documents to effectively report on businesses, including the latest Business Responsibility and Sustainability Report, BRSR, a great resource if you're a reporter, student, a teacher, or an academic interested in business and communities.